Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and the time has finally come. It has been 2 very long weeks once again. However, it's also been 8 very, very long years, to be fair. But it is finally here. Galactus from Marvel versus Unicron from Transformers. The most requested episode in Death Battle history. We are about to watch it right now. I am unable to contain my hype. I have been waiting for this for what feels like forever, and this became my new most wanted episode after Stitch vs. Rocket happened. So, you know, my 2 most wanted episodes now in season 10, which is absolutely insane, and especially capping off this insane season just in terms of quality. Like, I am so excited to see what Death Battle has cooked up for us. I think it is going to be amazing. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but I am really excited, and I really want to get started, but I'll start with the normal stuff I do for these reactions. In terms of who I'm rooting for, I'm pretty solidly rooting for Galactus. Obviously, I am more involved with Marvel than I am with Transformers. However, I also just have a soft spot for Galactus because, you know, he was kind of like the first big bad that I was ever introduced to. Like, in terms of an unstoppable force, like with unfathomable power, that kind of thing. He was my first one, and now that I've learned about him even more, I think he's even more interesting. Like how he possibly represents what's known as the Great Filter, which basically stops a civilization from getting too strong and colonizing the universe, like Viltrumites, you know? Like, I think that's really interesting. I think that's a really cool interpretation. And I like Unicron too. I think he's a little too similar to Galactus in some ways, like for it to just be a coincidence. However, I still think he is cool, and he does have enough distinctions, and I think those distinctions are very interesting, but we'll let Death Battle get into that stuff. And lastly, in terms of who I think is going to win, I could be swayed. I think I could be swayed depending on what Death Battle says and how they present the information, but right now I am also thinking that Galactus is going to win. The 2 main things I think that Unicron has going for him are the Dark Energon, which essentially corrupts anything that like it consumes that, like it's energy, and you know, anything that consumes it basically becomes a puppet of Unicron, which, you know, Galactus likes to consume energy, so that could be bad. And also the fact that Unicron kind of exists as like the physical embodiment or the abstract being of like chaos and evil, something like that. It depends on what you're reading or watching. However, I do think Galactus has his own things going for him. Like, I think he has good enough counters to those things. Like, he has absorbed energy that was stated to be deadly to him many times before, to my knowledge, and he also has the ultimate nullifier, assuming they're going to give it to him, which has erased beings similar to Unicron, if not even more impressive, in the past. Now, obviously, there might be some, you know, wrenches in there or some wrinkles in there that I'm not really sure of that Death Battle will find that will undo that whole thing, but I think those things combined with Galactus's abilities like the power cosmic and just the fact that the Marvel cosmology is really, really impressive. Transformers is actually really impressive too, but I don't believe it's as impressive. I think all of that put together would be enough for Galactus to win more times than not, but I am more than open to hearing, you know, what Death Battle has to say about it. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh boy.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp and Death Battle.
Oh, is that the card game? That's coming back, right? Oh, we're getting another... And the fight again. That's cool. Is that what they're gonna do nowadays? They're gonna give like a very small snippet of it? That's pretty cool.
And Unicron, almighty chaos bringer. That's right, it's the day we've all been waiting for.
Yes, it is.
He's Wiz and I'm
That's all they need to say. I love it.
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find
out who would win a death battle. Okay, let's go.
Boomstick, what is the nature of evil?
Oh, it's 3.5
His
years
ex-wife,
too early
maybe?
for that kind of question, Wiz.
No, I thought he was just gonna say that.
Is the wolf that hunts the hare evil? What about the bear that kills the wolf? Or the man that slays the bear? Is that evil?
No.
Or nature? Perhaps
It's nature.
This question was on Gallon of Taw's mind as he hurtled
Gallon.
to the end of infinity.
That's who Galactus used to
Pretty
be,
sure
in a
the
sense.
question on his mind was, how do I turn this goddamn
But yeah, Galactus really is a
spaceship
force of
around?
nature. It's just the
Eons ago,
natural
the planet
order of
Taw was
things.
a paradise, the most advanced civilization the universe had ever known.
Too bad the
This
universe
universe.
was coming to an end.
Yeah.
I hate it when that
Because he
happens.
came from the old
Time
universe.
scientist Gallon watched as
Or the old
rest of his
multiverse
race
or whatever.
ignominiously perished and
Yeah.
decided to die gloriously on his own terms.
By flying a ship into the sun.
Like a badass, am I right? That's how I want to die.
Crazy old coot. But instead of being vaporized on contact like Great Grandpappy Boomstick, Gallon got bitten
I'm so
by a
sorry, Boomstick.
radioactive god.
As the last living thing left before the universe's end, Gallon was visited by the sentience of the multiverse, who merged with him as part of a cosmic cycle of death and rebirth. As the old multiverse died, a new one was born, and the scientist Gallon was no more. In his place was a being of untold power.
There you go.
The Ravager of Galaxies, Galactus.
So cool.
Despite looking like a masochist giant purple vibrator, G-Dog here.
Goddamn, I like his design, actually.
Marvel, baby. And there's only one thing
Oh, he's also an existential concept. Beyond good and evil.
Is so
that could help.
Mind-meltingly powerful that strong doesn't really
and countless
begin to
backstory
describe.
retcons, yeah.
Just being near him will begin to warp your perception of reality. In truth, he isn't even really a physical being with a soul anymore, but composed of energy itself.
Yeah.
The power cosmic.
Basically,
yeah, the whole physical form thing has been up for debate, but I'm pretty sure he just doesn't really have one.
Sure,
Not a solid one, anyway.
To unholy smithereens, but it's a lot more flexible too.
Described as being
We saw Silver
in
Surfer
touch
8
with
episodes
every
ago.
other living thing at once, the power cosmic allows one access to a near infinite pool of knowledge and the ability to sense danger ahead of time.
I don't think there's a lot for him to be afraid of. He can manipulate matter.
Yeah, there are a few
read and
things,
control
but
the minds
he's
of
pretty high up
gods
there.
And teleport entire galaxies across the universe.
The power cosmic allows him
I don't know why you would want to do that,
fundamental
but
control over life
fair enough.
itself, manipulating souls, creating new life forms from nothing, and even resurrecting the dead. And because his body is composed of energy, he can't really be hurt in the traditional physical sense. This allows
Just
him to
other
grow or
senses.
shrink his body with seemingly no limit, and alter his appearance.
Wait,
Hey,
he
nice dummy.
chooses to look like that?
His physical appearance matches the species observing him.
Yes,
a
it
human
does.
sees a human Galactus, a Skrull Galactus, and so on.
Oh, so it's just like how I see the
So if he
world.
visited, like, Kirby's
What are you
world,
staring at?
imagine what he would look
matters
like.
most
And there's
to me
Beer
in the
Galactus.
Awesome.
No, not awesome. Very not awesome. At least as far as Galactus is concerned, since witnessing his approach is itself the end of the world.
Yeah.
You would only have enough time to pray to your paltry gods before Galactus consumed your entire planet.
And he goes for the
absorbing
ones
its
with
energy
life, 'cause it
into
has more
himself,
energy.
Then moving on to his next meal.
Man, I guess his costume is appropriate because he sounds like a total dick.
And we
Like,
do
come
have
on,
the
man.
ultimate
You
nullifier.
watched your whole planet die. Now you're gonna go around the universe doing the same thing?
It's not entirely his fault. Galactus's power is so immense that the only thing that can sustain him is the consumption of entire worlds.
Yeah.
Without
It's
this
just-
constant
he needs
feeding,
to
he
eat
would
that or
perish,
consume it.
just as humans would without consuming plants or other animals.
Kinda like how I hunt squirrels because I hate each and every one of them.
No, categorically the exact opposite, actually.
Yeah.
Galactus isn't vengeful or cruel. If he could avoid any unnecessary death, he would. But just
Yeah.
as the universe
And he
is bound
fights,
by the
like,
laws
big
of
threats a
physics,
lot, too.
Galactus is bound by his hunger.
And
Yeah.
that hunger has put him in
That sounds
conflict
awful,
with some
to
of
be
Marvel's
honest.
other heaviest hitters, like Odin and the Phoenix Force. Galactus's fight with the Other and the Scryer got so intense, they threatened the entire infinite multiverse
Yes.
just as a side effect of the battle.
They weren't even
While Galactus
attacking the
himself can
multiverse.
comfortably cross countless light years in seconds, some of these beings are more like abstract concepts than actual living things.
Yep.
Many of which operate outside of linear time.
Like this alien bug dude who tried to use Galactus's energy to destroy 2 whole universes. Even after being drained by him, he still nuked 3 whole star systems before getting a snack.
Should he
Jeez. And I'm reading all the
somehow
stuff on the
be threatened by
sidebar
beings
too, it's
beyond even the
insane.
scope of his power, Galactus crafted a device to solve all of his problems.
Yep.
The ultimate nullifier.
Hell
In
yeah.
case that name isn't obvious enough, it's a teeny tiny weapon that destroys anyone you think of.
It doesn't just destroy them, it destroys everything. The
Yeah.
entire multiverse is eradicated, then recreated without the target. An
Yeah.
extremely roundabout way of winning, but it works. That's exactly what happened when Galactus used it on the
Abraxas.
abstract god of destruction, Abraxas.
He destroyed the god of destroying things with a Happy Meal toy. It's like my therapist said, great things come in small packages.
Yeah, and Reed's
The
used it a lot
nullifier
too.
was key to Galactus's first great defeat upon his inevitable arrival on Earth.
When that pesky Reed Richards managed to get his stretchy hands on the thing, Galactus finally backed down and spared the planet.
Which makes no practical sense. The Ultimate Nullifier is a part of Galactus himself. It uses his own power. He can summon it at any time and even escape its effects by hiding in a pocket dimension.
Really?
It even had the safety on.
Maybe he was just bored.
After billions
That's funny.
of years of cosmic genocide.
Okay, interesting,
just to
because I thought it
survive,
could wipe out
I'm pretty sure
Galactus.
Galen forgot what it meant to be mortal. Perhaps that was the true evil all along, the slow death of Galen's humanity. Because what could be more terrifying than a being that sees everything and everyone you know and love as nothing more than his next meal?
Damn, man. Well, that got really depressing real fast.
In the beginning,
Now we have
before heaven and
Unicron.
earth, before light and dark, there was Unicron. Created by the formless, primordial being known as the One to
Yeah,
explore
the One.
the fledgling multiverse, Unicron instead decided to consume everything.
Dude,
Sure.
come on! Bad Unicron!
Go
Bad
ahead, why
God,
not?
Bad.
The One decided to split Unicron into two beings, one of order and hope known as Primus, and the other of chaos and, evil
Unicron,
known
right?
as Unicron.
Yeah.
Again.
Like
Sure.
all good sibling rivalries,
Why was the
they
original
pushed
name
each other's
Unicron,
shit in over
too?
the fate of all existence.
I don't know.
That is, until the goody little two-shoes Primus tricked his bro into imprisoning their souls in giant asteroids. Classic sibling prank. For me, it was the drive.
Yeah, fundamental
Primus
concept of
terraformed
evil.
his asteroid into what would later be known as the planet Cybertron, while Unicron
Gotcha.
did something different.
Yeah, he turned his planet into a planet that eats other
Yeah,
planets.
he just wants to
Not
consume
only that,
everything
it can
again.
change its form into a giant badass robot Satan. He's literally the first Transformer.
And with this new body, Unicron would travel the cosmos.
Kinda like
consuming
Apocalypse as the
planet
first
after
mutant.
planet and
That's what that reminds me
universe
of.
After universe. Not necessarily because of any hunger or need, but because Unicron is the physical embodiment
Yeah,
of death.
a
and
little different from
destruction. He
Galactus.
is literally programmed to destroy everything.
God's gotta do what a God's gotta do. And good
Yeah.
luck trying to fight back.
Big
Yumi's
robot Satan
body
over
comes
here.
with a tractor beam, eye lasers, fire breath, a chest cannon, and an antibody system in case anyone tries to pull a Drax on him.
Unicron can mentally dominate an entire race.
I
of
think
beings,
Ant-Man would be a better
erase things
example,
from
but
existence,
fair enough.
Warp the fabric of space and time, and even manipulate matter itself.
So even if his big
Okay.
robot body is damaged or destroyed, he can repair it lickety-split, or
Right.
even send his spark out to find a new host.
Essentially the Transformers version of a soul, Unicron's spark is immensely powerful and produces its own energy source, Dark Energon.
Yeah,
Unicron
there we
is
go.
so evil that he can literally
could be a
turn
big
his
thing for
bad dude
Unicron.
energy into weapons of mass destruction, like unholy blades or planet-busting lasers.
This
Damn.
Dark Energon will corrupt any that consumes it, turning
There
them
you
into
go.
a puppet of Unicron himself.
It's also obviously the opposite of regular Energon, which is created by Primus and what fuels the Transformer race. So
They didn't really
Unicron
talk about
basically
Galactus
runs
absorbing
on the
other energy
opposite of
sources,
light.
so that could
If
actually be
he's
pretty bad
dead
for him.
as a big robot,
Well, we'll see.
Can he even be killed?
Not by any conventional means. Even
There
the
we go
destruction
again.
of his spark isn't guaranteed to end him. He will continue to exist as a necessary force that drives the cosmos.
Okay,
Anytime he's
interesting.
destroyed,
Well,
he will
I put that
appear
together
again
as well,
in a
but
new universe.
because I was thinking the
In fact,
soul,
almost
like the
every
spark,
Unicron you've
Galactus
seen
has
in
control
movies,
over
TV,
souls,
and
but
comics are
if
the
that's not
same
enough, then, you know.
Unicron.
Unicron
Yeah,
is
like
a literal
Darkseid in
force
that
of
sense. They're
nature.
all, like, the
You
same
can't
of
reason
one
with a
being.
hurricane that hates you. All you can do is see it and get the hell out of the way. But
Yeah.
this hurricane is never gonna stop until you and everyone you know is DED dead. His mere
Yeah.
presence drove an entire planet insane.
I was trying to be poetic
Ooh.
before, but this.
Yeah, maybe
this
stay away
is
from
what
us,
evil
Unicron.
is. Incomprehensible, undeniable, inescapable. You can't even wait him out. He is unbound by the concept of linear time.
The Chaos
Okay,
Bringer is
but
so
Galactus has fought
powerful,
beings
his
like
mere
that.
presence wrecks the space-time continuum and can erase galaxies from existence just by strolling by.
To be clear, it
Yikes.
isn't the force he's generating by moving that destroys things, it's his existence. His mere being is so overwhelmingly evil that the fabric of space-time cannot fathom Unicron's presence.
Holy
Damn.
dude, no wonder he was able to devour nearly a quarter of the entire multiverse, one universe at a time.
Estimates for the size of the Transformers multiverse vary, from over 15 quadrillion universes to an infinite number of universes, branching timelines, and planes of existence.
Yeah, the cosmology
And
in
who better to
Transformers is
portray a
impressive,
being
too.
Who brings death to the universe than the man who gave birth to modern cinema? A final role fitting for an artist so much larger than life. Or
Okay.
deeply ironic that it's a feature-length toy commercial.
Well,
Transformers.
You know, Transformers, I know they started as toys, but like Star Wars, like it all wants to sell toys.
Despite that unbelievable power, the Chaos Bringer's almighty rampage through reality has been halted a number of times, usually due to the matrix of leadership, the essence of Primus himself, and the embodiment of all hope and light in the universe.
I don't really think that's the same as the nullifier, but
defeated by the power of friendship? Forget beer. I'm gonna need some of that shit going straight into the vein.
As the abstract idea of evil actualized, any notion of goodness is directly antithetical to his being.
As
Makes sense.
Incomprehensible to Unicron as he is to us.
But despite the best efforts of heroic Transformers like Optimus Prime, Unicron has always returned from the smoldering ashes of defeat and risen to threaten reality again.
It's his very nature.
Such as the time a united armada of Autobots, Decepticons, and an entire people created from his cells, the Minicons, tried to destroy him once and for all.
And it didn't work?
They actually succeeded in killing him until Galvatron's hatred for Optimus brought Unicron back to life.
Because
damn, that's a lot of hate.
Unicron means challenging evil itself, destroying destruction itself. An impossible paradox.
You can't.
Well, didn't Galactus do that though?
Killing is literally
I'm already making the comparisons in my head and out loud.
Every petty act of violence, every war, every cruelty, every death battle gives Unicron life. The life he'll use to kill us all. We are culpable in our own annihilation.
Unicron's
well,
not
screw
just
us,
some
I
comic
guess.
book villain. He's all there is and all there will be. He was there at the beginning, and he'll be there at the end. He's a law of physics. He's as inevitable as your dying breath.
Jesus, now you got me scared.
Yeah, I'm scared as hell.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by
Let's listen to
Death
this.
Battle. That's called synergy, right, Wiz?
By popular demand, Death Battle the game is finally back.
I never owned the game, but it seems kind of
Ever wanted
interesting.
to live out your very own death battle with you as the combatant? Of course you have.
Death Battle the game.
I mean, I played a game called Super Fight. I wonder if this is similar.
Will battle to the death.
Are you deadly enough to win a death battle?
The first player to eliminate all of their opponent's cards wins.
Who will be the last one standing?
With 100 weapon, armor, and skill cards, there are tons of options for character creation. Oh,
yeah, that's a lot of combinations.
50 custom dice.
If you know someone who just can't get enough of the pulse-pounding battles between fiction's deadliest characters, and sometimes its silliest, I
have a few friends that maybe would want to play this.
Death Battle the game this December.
I think you have to pre-order it.
With your favorite internet show brought to life.
Go to store.roosterteeth.com to
you have to pre-order. I will keep that in mind, though.
Time for a death battle.
Okay, time for a death battle. Jesus Christ, I thought we were gonna cut to the combatants. Okay, pausing it there. Okay. So talking about this, there are a few things to consider, and I want to make sure I bring everything up. So at first, when they were talking about how like the spark, I think I brought this up already, but how the spark is kind of like the equivalent of a soul. At first, I was thinking, oh well, Galactus has soul manipulation, but they say that doing that is not a guarantee of killing Unicron, which again I kind of already knew with the whole concept of stuff, but I wanted to see what they had to say about it. In terms of other things, like they were saying that Unicron is not really a being that follows linear time, that he is basically like the embodiment of destruction and hatred and all that. But I do feel like Galactus has beaten characters like that before. Like they even said in his analysis that a lot of those beings are not really like, they're not real beings. They're more so just abstract. Well, they're still beings, but like abstract beings, like that represent concepts and all that. So I feel like this is kind of in Galactus's wheelhouse. The only thing that kind of worries me is because they said that the way the nullifier works is that it just rebuilds the multiverse without you. But if Unicron needs to exist in a multiverse for it to exist, then that could be a problem, because I'm not sure if it could recreate it without Unicron. But again, we've seen it destroy abstract beings before. Like, I don't know and we know that Unicron was gone for a while until, Galvatron hated so much. So I don't think Unicron needs to be in the universe or the multiverse for it to maintain itself. I think it can survive without him. So... And then there's also the fact that Unicron, they said that when he was, because before he got split into Primus and Unicron devoured the entire multiverse. But after he got split, meaning this is the version that we're using right now, the half of the old Unicron, the new Unicron, he devoured like a quarter of the multiverse. but it was universe by universe. Like, it wasn't all at once. And Galactus, we know that he can destroy the infinite multiverse as a side effect during battles, you know? And, you know, they were talking about how, you know, things in Transformers, like the cosmology, can vary or whatever, but I still think that doing it all at once as a side effect is more impressive than doing it one by one, and it's not even as much... It's not even as many universes or whatever. It's like 22 or 25% or whatever of the multiverse. So that makes me think that, yeah, Galactus is more powerful just based off of that cosmology and all that. And it does seem like, yeah, I think the Ultimate Nullifier could be enough just based on who it's taken out before. Again, they didn't talk much about Galactus being able to resist like energy absorption that's like bad. Like energy that could corrupt you or anything like that. So the Dark Energon might be able to do the trick. And if so, then, you know, I don't think it really matters if Galactus dies. Like, if he's a puppet of Unicron, then that's kind of game over anyway, right? But, okay. There's more, I think, that's pointing towards Galactus. I do think there are some strings you can pull on for Unicron based on what they said, but... I think that, especially how they were building him up, like, at the end, like, a lot of what they were saying were just things that Galactus has already dealt with. Like, the Nullifier took out Abraxas, who was, you know, the god of destroying things. Unless they're trying to say, oh, he was the god of destruction, and Unicron is, like, the embodiment of destruction. There's a difference, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever, but... Like, I feel like a lot of what they were describing, as big as they were making Unicron sound... I think that Galactus still has what it takes. And I could be completely wrong, but I don't want to wait anymore. I want to watch this fucking death battle.
All right, the combatants are...
Oh, we are cutting to the combatants, okay.
Possibilities.
It's time for the death battle you've been asking for forever!
Yes! There we go, let's go! So long, man. So long. Galactus, don't target us, please. I'm assuming that's Earth. And Unicron is here too, obviously. They're gonna just fight over us.
It is mine to consume. So saith Galactus, destroyer of worlds.
Be gone. Thus decrees Unicron, Chaos Bringer.
Well, I love the intros. And right now he's just a planet. And I spoke too soon. And yeah, this definitely needs to have slower moments. Oh my god, look at this. And we're all toast.
So quick to beg for Oblivion's embrace.
They're not even fighting over the planet anymore, they're just fighting. Ow. Oh my god, the scope of this already. We have a black hole too. Track is very fitting. Throw a sun. None of this seems like it would do that much damage. You should just attack each other instead of throwing things at each other. Oh wow, that looked cool. Oh my god! Already huge clashes, we've barely started. Oh my god, the models look so good. You're okay.
I am the power cosmic incarnate.
That means you're okay.
Easily felled.
And yeah, but he can reform himself too.
Fleeing so readily, Unicron.
No devourer. Transforming.
Oh, Jesus.
Beg not for
Yeah, he's really big.
Behold,
But Galactus can get big too.
Against mine chaos, even gods will die.
Jeez. Okay, we're moving slow. Galactus, are you good? Jesus! You can break out of that. Yeah, there you go. Get on his level. Oh my god, I love the writing, the dialogue. Holy crap, all those galaxies. We needed a scale like this. Is that Dark Energon? If it is, don't consume it, Galactus. There's the nullifier. Tiny little thing. That's the spark. Oh, did he go into the nullifier?
Yes, I do. Your death I thus demand. Finally,
recreating. Did it recreate it without Galactus? But he can go into a pocket dimension.
Power bringer of chaos.
He's okay.
I figure thou hast much need. Witness that awaits you thus.
Oh my god!
Galactus must now feed.
Oh
We know
man!
Galactus and Unicron were beings who could manipulate reality itself and do basically anything.
Alternate
Yeah.
universe, unbound by time, they had each other matched in a lot of ways.
So it ultimately came down to which of them was more powerful.
Both could threaten an entire infinite multiverse, but Unicron could only do so over time.
Yeah, okay,
devouring them
that's
one
what I was
by one.
saying.
While Galactus's battle with the Scryer and the other threatened to destroy the entire Marvel multiverse as just a side
Yeah,
effect.
all at
Not
once.
to mention, Galactus tussles with cosmic beings like himself all the time.
While Unicron is usually the top
Well, that's usually
dog in
Primus.
Transformers, he's a big fish in a relatively small pond.
Yeah, not a
Relative to
small
Marvel.
pond, but a
That
smaller
might sound
pond.
better for Unicron at first, but it means he has way less experience than Galactus in full-on fights against dudes his size.
And
I would
while
agree.
Unicron has used Dark Energon to infect and corrupt other beings in the past, Galactus technically doesn't have a soul thanks to his cosmic rebirth from Galactus. And he's fended off mental attacks before, so
That's
there's no real
okay.
reason to think
Interesting
that would work.
interpretation.
And as lame as it is, the ultimate nullifier is just really, really overpowered.
Yeah.
Unicron being able to survive the destruction of his spark, the ultimate nullifier is significantly more thorough. Consider the time it was used against
gets rid of you.
Abraxas, a being that embodied the abstract concept of the multiverse's destruction.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
No, even against someone like that, the good old Ollie Nolly had no problem erasing him from reality. And the same would happen to Unicron. While Galactus could always hide in that pocket dimension,
Yep.
just as he escaped the nullifier before.
Unicron was an insanely terrifying threat, but Galactus had the power, experience, and arsenal to
Oh
ultimately
man, this was
annihilate him.
fun.
If you thought Galactus was going down in this fight, you were Unicron.
The winner is
Interesting.
Galactus.
All right, congratulations, Galactus. Now let's
Season
listen to
10's
Ben.
done, but season 11 is on the way. Thanks so
Okay.
much for watching, and a special thanks to our channel members for being champions this year. Get ready for more Death Battle in 2024.
I'm excited. Oh, I think we have. Oh, the Fool, Death, the World. The one you vote. Yeah, okay. Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. So that's that. I'm gonna take a closer look at that later because that might be signifying something that I'm not getting right now. But they did reaffirm that Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat is happening because that was the winner of the Tournament of Champions, if you guys didn't know. So that's one episode that we definitely have confirmed for next year. After that, again, I'm not sure. I'm gonna want to take a look at that trailer again. I highly doubt it would have confirmed anything right now, like outright, but I'll take a look at that. But yeah, I am excited for season 11 in 2024. That's going to be fun. But I don't really have much more to say other than that for what's coming next. I guess I am excited for Wile E versus Tom. It was the episode that I voted for in the final round. In terms of the other rounds, I can't say I voted for it, especially in the semifinals. I would have preferred Gru versus Megamind, but it's okay. We're getting a Looney Tunes character, and that is something I have wanted for a very, very long time. So I have no complaints in that regard. And Tom and Jerry is fun too. I'm more into Looney Tunes than Tom and Jerry, to be honest, but Tom and Jerry is still fun. It's still very similar, so I am excited for that. But in terms of this episode, this is pretty close to what I wanted Galactus versus Unicron to be. Like, the scale, they just kept getting bigger. They didn't have to be so huge right off the bat. It's just that escalation that I feel like they really took their time making sure that it was correct. And and they rolled with it. That was really good, I thought. You know, growing past galaxies. When Unicron, I think he jumped into the nullifier, right, and tried to like activate it himself. Like that is something I was not expecting, but that was very cool. I mean, at first I was like, oh, he's gonna use the nullifier, but it's like Galactus can just, you know, hide from it, essentially. He's done it before. And yeah, a lot of the reasoning really came down to the fact that it's just Unicron, as powerful as he is in the world of Transformers, Galactus just exists in a world of beings very similar to him, and he's fought beings similar to him. He's taken them out, especially with the ultimate nullifier, you know? So they didn't talk about Unicron's like immortality as much as I thought they were going to, but they covered pretty much everything they needed to based on what the conclusion had in store for us, you know? So, and I thought they did a good job of laying out all the information. Again, a lot of it was stuff I already knew, but it's also just making sure I understand their interpretation of everything. And I'm really happy I picked up on how they outlined the difference between the multiversal destruction and all that, because you know, I think that is important. But yeah, that I really enjoyed the analyses. I enjoyed how they talked about more than just, you know, their power, but who the characters were, especially for Galactus, you know, with his, you know, with his Gallon identity and him losing his humanity. I thought that was cool. And again, with Unicron, really all they could do was just build him up more and more, which, you know, I think is fair. Like that's kind of what you got to do, because that's what he is. You got to talk about that. So I did appreciate that as well. And yeah, again, you know, the analyses were fun. The fight itself I thought was so cool. As I was watching the 3D models, I was like, that is Galactus. That is Unicron. That looks so cool. And of course, fighting over Earth is so funny. And then even after Earth gets destroyed, you know, they just keep fighting. Obviously, it's a death battle, but that was really fun. And yeah, using all their powers, you know, a lot of the powers obviously look kind of similar to each other, but because, you know, it was like power cosmic versus Transformers energy, all that. But it was still fun to watch. You know, I thought anything could happen really at any point, so I was really on the edge of my seat. Yeah, no, I enjoyed this a lot. I'm gonna have to rewatch it, obviously, but the fight that we have been waiting for, I personally think it lived up to what I wanted. You know, I know that this battle had the potential to be like really blocky, really, you know, a little too slow, you know, all that. But I think that this got a good balance of what made Galactus and Unicron who they are, and also just what made for an entertaining fight. That's me personally, though. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well, because I thought it was really, really fun. Again, waiting for it for so long, and to say that we finally have a Galactus versus Unicron episode that we can go back to is so good to say. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Who do you think should have won? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you could too. That would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.